Season's greetings from Tom fucking Bieber. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. It's for you, Coop. 102 tie because I shoved it up Rex Ryan's ass with 30-something points and tied my main man, Coop. Tough deal, man. So, what that meant is that Harry clinched the division, and that Coop is not clinched yet in the playoffs, and the Pillaging Peacocks are alive with a miracle to maybe make the playoffs. Thank you, Harry. Take a dive this week, and I will buy you that lunch that I said I would do. No collusion here. We'll have the commissioner investigate, and I think nothing will be found. So anyway, quick recap. As I said, Tom Brady, huge game. Circus McQuirkus and Seatown Cultural Nation with a 102 tie that wreaked some havoc and apparently caused some major cursing by Cooper at a bar up in the Pacific Northwest. I wish that Glenn or Booth could have gotten us some video. Maybe you could post that if he did get some video of him swearing and maybe getting escorted out of the restaurant for being unruly and belligerent. That would be fantastic. Other things last week of note: Third and Longer beats Top of the Heap to clinch the Bryant Young division at 8-5, and Top of the Heap, I believe, is completely see ya, as things should be. You know, Higgins, give me a break. The other thing, Mashers, Gabe's Mashers, really 57 points and you get a win. Thanks, Fear Boner, Anticiparection, Ex-Commish, for that fabulous 51-point effort. Real nice, real nice. Anyway, let's get to the whole playoff scenarios. Who's in? Circus McQuirkus, 9-3-1, clinches best record. Howie Long division champ, #1 seed, and probably a first-round loss to cap the season, but who knows? I don't know. I don't know what to say, Harry. I mean, this has been the most bizarre year in sports. The Giants win the World Series. Harry's in first place pretty much from wire to wire in our fantasy football. I really don't know what to think other than maybe your kids took over the team and that's why they didn't suck this year. Yeah, maybe you said, it worked for Ellis. Let me try it myself. Your kids are actually old enough to maybe understand it too. So, I mean, Ellis, I don't know what his excuse is. His 9-year-old, 10-year-old kid or whatever, smarter than him in fantasy football. Not sure what that says. Who else is in? Third and Longer is in with that win over the Heap. Brian, I only make it to the playoffs and win championships if someone else drafts my team. Burke Falk gets his auto draft mystery who'd you pick for me team to actually somehow finish 8-5 at this point. 4-1 in the crappy Bryant Young division, and he's in the playoffs. He might be a 2 seed or a 3 seed. That is yet to be determined. So this is when things get tricky. So, let's get down to business. Circus McQuirkus, they're in. Clinched. Third and Longer, you're in. You won the division. Crappy division, but whatever. Fitting that the 49er guys division is the crappy division. Although there is a lot of mediocrity in the Cortez Kennedy division. And that's where things kind of get interesting. Let's see if I can get down here and get this kind of right here. Let me get back here farther. So, Cortez Kennedy division. Well, let's just say it kind of sucks. He Hate Me, 8-5. Mashers, 7-6. If He Hate Me beats Fear Boner Ex-Commish, who was 4-9 and put up a 50-point effort last week, maybe there's a good chance of that, then he wins the division at 9-5. Gabe's Mashers have a chance to capture the wild card with a win. And they can also win the division if Gabe's Mashers, now stay with me, can win the Kennedy division with a win over the Beavers and He Hate Me losing to Fear Boner. So, by way of head-to-head, they're 1-1, and then it goes to divisional record next. Gabe's Mashers would have the better divisional record, so then he would move up to one spot, and He Hate Me could actually be eliminated from the playoffs. We'll see. He Hate Me wins the division with a win or a Mashers loss. Earns a wild card if he loses to Fear Boner and the Mashers win over the Beavers and Seatown Cultural Nation loses to the Spotted Owls, because at 8-6 he would still have the best record for the wild card. They'd be tied. Mashers get the division. Hate gets the wild card. And the Nation and the Peacocks are screwed no matter what happens. So, That is if the Nation loses. He Hate Me could be eliminated from the playoffs if he loses to Fear Boner and the Mashers win and C-Town Cultural Nation wins, because the C-Town Cultural Nation would be 8-5-1, better than his 8-6 record, thus giving the wild card to C-Town Cultural Nation rather than He Hate Me. I don't know if anyone's still with me, but hey, whatever. Let's go to C-Town Cultural Nation. Earns the wild card with a win over the Spotted Owls. Win and he's in. Or, if he loses to the Spotted Owls and the Peacocks lose to Circus McQuirkus, then he could have, or a loss to the Owls and the Cox win and Heap wins. If everyone ends up 7-6-1 between these three, then the tiebreaker, I believe, would go to the Nation because they have the highest point total. And if it's just head-to-head with the Nation and the Heap at 7-6-1, then C-Town Cultural Nation gets in because it has a tiebreaker with a 89-78 win over the Heap in Week 6. So really, chances are slim for the Heap. You're going to end up with these losers down here. Better luck next year. Now, let's get to the really, really, really important scenario. How do the Pillaging Peacocks get into the playoffs? Other than riding the back of, jumping on Mike Vick's back and just ride and ride and ride. Here's how they do it. They earn the wild card with a win over Circus McQuirkus, plus a C-Town Cultural Nation loss to the Spotted Owls. Very possible. Mejia's got the most points in the league. Always ends up getting screwed by a point or two, scoring a lot. I'm counting on you, Glenn. But that's not all. He also needs the Mashers to lose to the Beavers. And to outscore C-Town Cultural Nation in Week 14 by 14 points. Because C-Town Cultural Nation right now is 13 points ahead of the Pillaging Peacocks with overall point total. So if they both ended up 7-6-1, head-to-head, it's a 1-on-1. So it goes to actually points scored rather than division record when it comes to the wild card. And the points scored, the Cox have to come up with an extra 14 points more than C-Town Cultural Nation. So, Cox win, Nation loss, Mashers loss, and the Cox outscoring C-Town Cultural Nation by 14 points. That's the recipe. That's how it's going down. I'll get back to you guys later with actual picks for the games when I actually can look at it. Remember, there is a Thursday night game again this week. It's the Colts and the Titans. And the over-under in Vegas on Peyton Manning picks is 2.5. And the over-under on number of picks returned is 1/2. So, call your bookies, get it down, pay attention, look at the board one last time so you can get it all figured out. And then don't worry about it because you can just look next week and see who actually made the playoffs. And if you're Keisha, ex-commish, Spotted Owls, Shannon, don't worry about it. We'll let you know when the draft is next year. Thanks for playing.